Okay. I think we're going. Let me... Still moving. I'm a little see-through, but that's okay. Alright. Hello, I'm Dustin. Oh, technically Lorraine. And we're just gonna do a tiny little bit of game dev stuff this evening. Not sure how long we'll be online, but I was messing with some of the stuff earlier, and then I was just like, well, let's just go get into it on the internet for a little bit just to get something out there. A few things we're gonna check out today, and this is a more like conversation I want to have with you just to see if you have some thoughts on this stuff. And then this is the thing I was working on earlier that I've been kind of working on perpetually, but I figured I'd move in here just in case. We'll get to that second, because I'm not sure how much we'll try to address it online, but nice little error output there. We've got a cat stalking around the room.
You left, I would close.
But anyway, yeah. So let's get into it. So the first thing I wanted to show you, and I don't even remember how much I had told you about this.
Never.
At Cubicorn, I think I even mentioned it in the last dev stream that that you weren't on the other day or whatever. You plug this controller in first. Your Xbox controller. Then let me also screen. Oh shoot! We update this. One moment. Here, real quick.
Got it. Fantastic.
Update to the latest that I was changing on my laptop earlier. Okay. Give it a hot second. Okay. Put up the staging level here. I'm going to remove this. I'm just going to chuck it. Doesn't matter. That little string in there to help sequence break when I was testing the other thing to everything work better and faster. Load this up. In here. And this is all, so this is part of a, there's a tiny little change in there the other day, but the main things I've done here, we need to find an enemy. Because I fixed this in the booth at Cubicorn. You'll see that guys bump into me and I'm taking damage or whatever. Let's try to find. He had followed me down here with him. That would have been. Come at me, bro. So before, the first time I had tried to implement some kind of cooldown on you taking damage, it was on like a per source basis. It's meaning that like I'm just gonna like try to load the whole thing up again and go one more time. But meaning that like one single goop, as it is touching you, could only apply, you know, a tick of damage every second and a half or whatever the value was. But every goop could do that at every of their own second and a half. So you would run into situations where you would get touched by like 3 things at once and you would lose like 8 health immediately.
Woo!
So now if you watch on the screen again, I have pulled that stuff out and centralized it, so now it is within Marta. Like multiple things will still, I didn't really change the code from the enemies, so they kind of still just keep trying to apply damage as much as they possibly can. But then Marta herself just has an additional, okay. Has a like meter that, or rather a just a cooldown that determines when, like, it gives her iframes basically. Like it's an internal counter on her that after she takes damage, she cannot take additional damage from any source for X number of time. So that's in there now, which is good because it does make the whole thing more manageable to play. It does do the thing I actually wanted the original Speaks to accomplish, which is not to have you just like wiped out in like a fraction of a second by taking too much damage from too many sources or whatever. But two other things I kind of want to try out, or at least I want to run these ideas by you and see what you think of them, is I don't think we need to make any changes to the base UI that we have right now. Like I think the meters and stuff, they're all that are fine. But I have a couple ideas of tiny things we could do to make it a little more obvious when you can and can't shield, and when you are and aren't taking damage, and how much you're taking. Here are my off-the-dome thoughts, and let me know what you think. First one is, like I said, I'm not going to change. So these are proposals in addition to what we have, not as a substitution for anything. Like I wouldn't change the health hex or the shield bar anyway necessarily by themselves. But I thought I had was like as you hold the bubble, perhaps like in Smash Brothers, maybe as you hold it down, it like visually shrinks over time in addition to the meter going down. And then once it gets to a certain, like not like a 0 size, but just like a certain smaller size than where it is, it plays like a little popping animation. And then maybe it even plays that same popping animation if you reapply the X button while you have 0 shield, just indicating that you can't do it anymore.
Hey, Colette.
We being bad.
Counterpoint. I don't necessarily like the idea of it scaling like that. What if it just got more transparent?
I could maybe be open to that. It would be
pop. Like,
okay.
Pop can still be there. I just
that
don't
would
like
probably
it getting
be
smaller.
that would probably
because
be
I feel
fine.
like that doesn't convey where it's protecting you. Because if you think about that, like the shield, like it's different in Smash Brothers because it starts out so much bigger, whereas hers is right around her.
I would definitely be open to that, or even like trying one of each and seeing. Because my other thought was that we could just make it slightly physically larger if we were to go with the other solution of making it smaller over time. But yeah, I would definitely the popping thing I think is more important.
There's already that like I have a thing. There's a sprite in here for when the
guys touch you or whichever.
Shoot a projectile.
Oh, for like when it hits a surface.
Yeah. That.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be perfect. All right.
Shift it.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'll definitely do that at least, and I do also want it to like I said, I would want it to pop up each time X is pressed when you have 0 shields, just to like. Okay. All right.
Hey.
And then honestly, the size and transparency thing, like that's almost the same function even, because you just pointed at a different thing, so we could try them both with very little effort and then decide what we're gonna do.
Okay,
you can kind of see her. She's right there. Yep. I got a cat over my shoulder.
Hi, B. Wrong shoulder. Come back.
But anyway, okay, we'll give that a shot then. But I wanted to run that by you as I was thinking of it. And then the other thing I was thinking, and actually, let me go.
Hey.
That being such a nuisance right now. I don't even need.
Hey, what are you doing?
Cheat my way to the level.
Colette.
So watch the health and just watch Martin in general very closely as we get into the boss fight here.
Hey,
right.
Get out of there.
I don't have a shield. So, they did a couple damage, and then he applies much more damage than other sources, and I did that intentionally.
That was in the code at one point.
Yes, and it was already, you even had built the game to do that.
Yeah.
And just we weren't really utilizing it before, but I have since started utilizing it.
Yeah.
Well,
the bosses were always doing more damage, Dustin.
All right,
because you
that
were
is possible that at some point I just turned it off or whatever.
Was. Definitely was.
I think I had to tweak it a little to go with the other stuff because he works the same way. Like, he calls the same damaging function that ultimately that Marta uses to not take damage forever, like to take
circumventing the camera away. Look at the camera, little bee. It's not helping. Oh, thank you.
Oh, cat butt. Oh, God, she's huge.
Oh, such a large little bee.
Anyway, there's that, and so the other thing, in addition to
The heater. You see,
oh, silly.
there are worse things for her to be attacking than cardboard taped to the back.
All right, so in addition to all the other stuff that happens currently, like I said, same deal, not changing or removing anything that's already in place, but like how she makes a little hissing noise and she has a little animation for when she gets hit. Would you be opposed to like instantiating a little sprite that like floats up off of her very briefly, like a heart that has like a negative number, like that just even stupider shows that she's taking damage, and even could show how much. Because the reason for the number is that I thought it's more obvious how she's taking from boss sources. It would be more obvious that what she's taking from certain enemies, and it could be more obvious for right now some of the costumes. Like one of them reduces boss damage, so that would even tell you how effective it is if you are an end user and you care.
No.
You're like,
I don't really know if I like that idea. I don't mind a different kind of indicator, but I'm not sure if I like that.
Well, if you have any other thoughts for just something else,
I'd have to think about it.
That would like be near her or on her or come off of her, because like I said, I think the UI as we have it, like the 2 meters or whatever, are fine. I don't think we need to change them. I think they're okay. But even more information that happens at the center of the screen, like roughly, like at where you're looking, because you're looking at her all the time. I think if we did put another layer of that for the health and the shield, that I think it could be a positive.
I'm not a big fan of that idea. I understand what you're saying. I don't have a solution on the spot like this.
Okay. Well, if you want to think about it and get back to me, because the other shield thing I'll just implement. Like I said,
fine.
At least the pop, and then I'll probably turn on both, and then we can switch between the two and see which one we like more. But I'd probably be satisfied with either of those.
I don't really like this size.
Okay,
idea.
That's fine.
I think the transparent.
I'll even start with the transparency thing. Go from there, or we'll just stick with it, or whatever. But okay. So there's that.
Fantastic.
But then yeah, let me know what you think about the other thing. Just stew on it for a couple days or something, and
promptly forget about it on it.
Let me know your thoughts. Let me double check a thing real quick. Trying to think of other stuff, but I'm gonna go back and check last week's thing and see what I'd written down, because it certainly wasn't a lot. So that's basically the same thing we already talked about.
Goodness. Man, I'm feeling today like.
That's fine. Oh, I did do this. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I similar to the other screen, I changed this.
Moving. I couldn't. Oh, that button. Oh, I thought you meant it moved.
Which thing moves? Oh, well, that I did fix. That I legit fixed that last week.
That's what I noticed.
But then
I
also swapped this out for the like little bubble thing. Okay, it used to be like.
Right.
Here,
Yeah, no, I know.
I'll show you.
I know what it is. I can remember now.
It used to be
yes,
this.
I remember.
Which made less sense in a context where you have only one menu option to choose from.
Well, I'm sorry. I was just trying to use the menu
but that's fine.
that I had made for other things.
But again, the reason I point that out is just like that's a kind of a lateral change that's in the same vein, I think, as like trying to put a little more like even a more obvious flag up for some of the things that happen gameplay wise. So that's that. But it obeys the laws of all those other buttons where if you switch controllers, like here, let's double down, let's make sure that it actually works. I'm gonna unplug this, and then I'm gonna plug this in. And then I'm gonna hit play. So now it looks like that.
Weird.
Why?
I don't know. Weird to see.
But anyway, so that's actually one of the other things we can talk about too. Is Do you want to take some notes over there? Do you want me to take notes and save them in a file and send them to you?
It literally doesn't matter.
Because that falls under the purview of other art stuff that I still need now, which would be this, but not the version that I.
Christ. Whoa.
I need you to make one of those for each of the controllers we're going to support, which right now is 360. Xbox One if you want to make it different, or it doesn't necessarily have to be since the like layout is functionally the same.
I'd probably make it look more. They're technically different.
But so 360, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch Pro controller.
60. Bitch.
And then we need here, I'll go back into the gameplay screen, but we basically need one of these full screen ones because this is accessed here and in like the pause screen in gameplay. We need like one of these full screen controls ones for each of those controllers, and then we also need and unless you can think of anywhere else where other ones exist, but we need these for each one, so the bumpers are basically. But they have the text on them. So even if you wanted to use the same shape and just replace the text in better, like this was just, I put that on there and
they're the same.
Paint.net or something.
R1.
Well, this is the PS4 one, but if I unplug this and put the Xbox one, it'll be LBRB, and then on the Switch it'll be Z.
Then just literally put that over there and call it a day.
All right, I can do that if you want.
The bumpers are the same shape. The triggers I will give you are slightly different shaped. But the bumpers are the same, guy.
Look, these are like rounded this way and not like.
Then you make it. That is the most acidine change I could ever. All right. I understand the nomenclature. I had forgotten Xbox One. I still hate the L and the R because it's stupid Nintendo.
But what, like,
bullshit.
do you want me to just do exactly this, or do you want me to like use this other font, or like?
Man, I don't care. You could do it just like that. It doesn't matter. Unless you want it to be. That font does not scale down well.
Okay.
Iron Sands, which is so I feel like something a little more simplistic would look better.
Okay. And then I think the only face buttons we need are X and the B equivalent.
Hey.
What?
Okay.
You're being bad.
Hi. Okay, goodbye. Bye.
I'm assuming she was probably visible.
Probably.
Anyway.
B, what are you doing?
Hello.
There's.
Yep. Oh, she's on the other
come
side.
here.
Not quite. So close.
Then if you're right. Other way. Other way. Oh, she's
there.
Little B, what are you doing?
Cat. Why are you catting it up so hard?
So strange.
Um,
So very.
But anyway, yeah. So we need the A and B button, like these two. But I mean, for all of them, like the bottom center button and the right button. For all the different controllers. And then that's it. And then she still does the same thing where, like I said, if I go to the... But it's all the same assets. Make them different. But if I like go to the end of this pipe here, this one changes too. Like, see, it's got...
Hey! What are you... Just be... What?
But yeah, we need those. What? Hey, this way. Don't be a bother, you might as well look cute. Alright, fine. So yeah, we need that. And then I think that's it for now for that stuff, but I just wanted to bring that up again because I had just thrown those other ones in there that I made in Paint.net in 10 minutes or whatever.
How long do you think it make those other ones?
Yeah, but the other one, like that's the the controller that I paste down there won't fly for sure.
Oh no.
And if you do them all, you can at least make them more uniform one way or another. They should look similar. Like, although obviously the iconography and the coloring might be a little different, but
no, they're gonna all be X button green.
That's it. So there's that, and then do you have any other thoughts, concerns, ideas? About stuff. If we go, I had to ask you again. Oh, where did the? Oh, it's here.
Good girl. Yeah, sit on the towel.
Oh, that's right, because this one doesn't have a save. I was thinking of the other one where we did have everything unlocked. I was going to ask you. Right. I wanted to see all the costumes together that currently exist.
Be in prefix.
But this is fine. I just wanted to show you these ones. You have any other were you gonna, like, is this what we're gonna launch with? Did you have other ones you wanted to implement?
And you had me tell.
Because if any of the ones you want to put in, I'm game. I just need to know.
No.
Huh?
I don't know.
Okay, I was just curious.
Unless you've got more, which I asked you for, and you could not provide any.
Well. Anyway. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to ask you if you wanted to try. And I don't know how you'd go about doing that, but let me find. Where does her actual, like, character sprite in game live?
Which piece are you looking for? Those are old.
Old too?
It's very old.
Pieces.
Look up. There's the head. There's a.
That one from
Probably.
here. Form. The other thing I was going to ask you, because since her head is already kind of separated like this, the costumes are all sort of a set size, right? Because the other thing that we've run into from time to time is the desyncing thing. And like I said, my super, either I don't think we need to worry about it a ton, because it's whatever. So there's that. My other thought that I had mentioned before was that, like, you think you could do like a riff on this sheet that, like, legit carves out like much of her, like, center belly part and just kind of leaves the two ends, like the tail that clearly moves and the neck part that wiggles a bit. Because if the costumes all cover roughly the same amount of area of her body and she's never going to be without a costume unless something goes horribly wrong, then that kind of, like, covers up the fact that, like, the animations might fall out of sync a little bit, because it'll still, like, you'll see the two ends moving and you'll see the little shirt moving, and if her belly's not poking out of the bottom accidentally because they're out of sync, then it won't, like, I don't think anyone will notice.
Are you done?
Yes.
You know, it's probably easy putting that under costume. Not spawning it. changing it slightly.
I mean, that'd be fine. Like, just you're saying, just add like
The only
the
thing
whole
is that
layered
might kind like
thing. Screw up per head movement or something.
no,
or...
it shouldn't do that. I'm just worried about
How so?
because I'm pretty sure I don't remember how it's.
Like, and part of it might slide off or something.
No, I'm just like I don't know if it's just a 1-to-1 or if it is. I don't know what the collision slider looks like.
On Marta herself?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Take. I also probably have modified that too. Lorraine, I do my best. You don't have to. Oh my gosh. Oh. Here's Marta as she exists right now.
Ah, yes, this is clear as mud. If you just look, I meant more the shape of it. I'm assuming that just doesn't change. I kind of got the gist where she validate that one. In theory, we just delete the body, essentially. I think the rigid body is on the parent part, not on the body.
Here's a rigid body. It's attached
in the
to her
collider.
highest most thing.
Click on the body. In her drop down, the body. That's just a sprite and an animator.
Yeah.
So if we put... we get rid of that sprite. That whole object, honestly, could also probably just go. If we get rid of that.
This thing?
Just body. If we get rid of body.
Yeah.
Put those sprites, or the ends of them or whatever, underneath those sheets. And when the sheets costume goes on, it will put both on her, and they already animate at the exact same rate as the body. They're taking the exact same variables. We would just have to remove the code that is sending the animation to it, leave in there what it's getting, what the clothing is getting, which should not be hard. And that honestly should solve the problem.
Okay.
You probably won't have to mess with an animator because it just takes the sprites off of the sheets, and the sheets should stay the same if you update them, like the cutout prefab ones.
Okay. Yeah, we could definitely give that a try. I'll leave that to you to try to implement. The other thing, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm actually surprised I didn't mess with this already. But maybe I just won't. No, that's fine. The other thing, I'll show you what I did, and this is not really related explicitly to what we're talking about, but part of the way that and I guess it kind of doesn't need to be on one half of the equation and not both, so that's probably why I hadn't changed around Marta's. I didn't necessarily have to, but part of the way I changed the way the enemies apply damage is by changing the way that they're not the boss. Where is it? That brute. And I changed the way that their colliders were set up. Because I needed to use on trigger stay and I needed to be reliable, and if it's on collision stay, it's much less reliable because it's much more difficult to keep, like, you can't necessarily assume that the two surfaces will be touching all the time, stuff moving in and out of the scene, but you can generally assume that if you have the outer collider here is the trigger, that if you have a collider that is at least a few clicks away from whatever surface you intend it to be colliding with, and you want to check like stay state stuff, that is much more likely to be, like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that. But I basically divorced their physical collider. I did this to a lot of Cucumber enemies too, from their like the thing that checks for hits and damage and stuff like that. So this physical collider is just like nested, and that's the one that's this way. And then I had also just like simplified it a ton, because I don't know if you had it like do the math or whatever based on the sprite, or if you had set a bunch of the points to make all the corners around it or whatever, but this is the same general shape. It's fine this way. But yeah, he used to have like 2 or 3 times as many vertices because he had like rounded corners up here and stuff, and I was like, that's fine with all that. you get the idea. But anyway, so that's what's going on with him and all the other enemies now. Is the goops and stuff work like this too, where they'll have a physical collider that is either the same size as the original collider they had was, or maybe even a tiny bit smaller, and then a trigger on them that is larger than whatever their physical collider is. And the trigger is the thing that determines, like I said, like hits and damage and stuff, because it's just more reliable than tracking when things actually physically touch, or especially trying to track them like continually touching when it's so easy for things to like separate for a frame or two as action is going on. When it's literally you're measuring like surface contact between the two things as opposed to like a slightly larger area of effect or whatever. So there's that. But yeah, whatever, I 80% understood what you were describing with the changes to Marta. So if you want to mess with that at some point, let me know if you need me to do anything else.
Is there a part of it that is confusing?
Just the part where I'm still not super like I also have a fractional understanding of how animations in Unity work, period, because I still haven't messed with them enough. I messed with them a little more now that I've been doing down the drain. I'm still much more well versed with the 2D toolkit stuff because that was the stuff that was more in Cucumber. So it's really just that part.
Don't attack Shiny Rayquaza. He did nothing wrong. Case.
He's been in.
I mean, the gist of it is I'm removing one of the sprites and collapsing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that part I get, but it's just like basically when it comes to like changing the sprite set, like the tile set that goes on to those animators now.
I mean, the only thing is like
different.
no, it's changing a file, and theoretically, if my understanding is correct, once the image is changed, it's just going to be different.
Okay.
So like you put the costume on, it will have the clothing and her body
all in one image.
That is what the tile sheet for that costume will have.
Yes, that I get. That I understand.
Oh,
I think
wrong? You
I just clicked it twice really quickly. Anyway, and the other thing there is like I kind of already pre-planned for that because, well, it shouldn't matter either way. But like when you go in here, she's hidden from view, and that was intentional just in case there was any like weird sloppiness as you changed costumes. So if that is the case with implementing it slightly differently, it still should matter because she's still kind of like hidden behind the scenes or whatever until you come back out of there. But yeah, that works for me. Like I said, I think that will solve pretty much all our problems with stuff like that sometimes because the head still works perfectly. Like the fact that you already have her head divorced from her body and like she can, shoot bubbles and still move and stuff. Like that's never looked weird to me. It always looks basically perfect. So we're not going to change that dynamic. Like her head will still be different from her torso.
It's just gonna be 3 parts instead of 4.
Yeah.
So right now it's head, hat, clothing, body.
Okay.
And it's just gonna be head, hat, body with the clothing on it.
Yeah, because none of the hats have animations either. They just physically stick to her head.
They just sit right there.
Yeah.
They have no animator. They just are They're part of a unit that is measured to her body facially and saved as attached to a larger object that is then a child to her when she costume.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that'll work. Then, like I said, I'll
because it's literally just being rotated with her right now, as opposed to doing the hat, the clothing too. But the hat is just like if you brought up the scene view. You could click on the object that says cost. It's like I think it's that. Clothes. Look at the hat.
Hat.
I mean, you zoomed in. It's like super weird.
Right.
In the layering.
The camera's in a weird spot.
Yeah. It's rotated. What is that? It says 0. Because the object clothes is actually, and it's staying in the same. That position is specifically like I pulled that into space.
Gotcha.
Top of her.
Okay. Good deal.
Essentially, shirt will have the body in it.
And like you said, this
later.
will basically be like we won't necessarily need this anymore.
No, it's going to be completely gone.
Because that'll all be on this.
It'll be on that
part.
object.
Gotcha. Okay.
And if you wanted to try it right now.
Yeah, we could just do it. Like, we can end the stream by doing that as
Yeah.
opposed to the other shit I was gonna mess with. It's not. I mean, it's very important, but it's.
Why?
I don't know if I'll make a ton of progress on it here anyway.
Your
So
eyes
this would
so
be
big right now.
a better
Like,
use of
your
our time
pupils
for
are
the moment.
enormous.
He's just
Hi.
tweaking. Too much meth.
Little
I got a
bee.
cat.
What are you doing?
Nope,
Why don't you smile?
she's gone again. Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, you need to go to sprites then. Not to sprites. They're called. Open the body movement. That.
Do I want to do this in Unity or do I want to
Well,
like
we
just?
need that object. You just click on it. Right click. Show and explore. Top underneath create. Second
right
object. This up.
Okay.
So we'll need that and open that in paint.net. Do not no, please. Okay.
Colette, you were
Hey,
being a real
baby.
nuisance right now.
baby. Paint open with paint.net. It's the fourth, fifth thing on thing. Do the same, just when I exit. Go back to the Explorer. Get
Like,
where's the normal? Why you look at view large images. View large icon. Down. There, shirt movement. Shirt. Not PM shirt movement. Shirt movement. Open in paint.net. That's not paint.net.
all right, hold on.
Right click. Open with. Up a little bit more. You're so close. So close.
Looking for.
Please just open with paint.net. You're not helping. You're making this so hard. What are you doing? Control A. Control C. Or it might have been, it's actually smarter to do it on the other one. Go to this one. Control A, Control C. Go back to the other one. Make a new layer.
This button?
Yes. Move it down one. Go over, all the way, that one. Press it down. Control V. Done.
Okay.
Flatten the image. You can just do Control Shift F.
Okay.
Save it. Save it. Just normal save it. Do it.
Hold on.
Do it.
I wanna. I never.
I haven't updated. I have these images also offline. Like, it's
all right,
fine.
that's fine.
It's fine,
okay.
Dustin. Control S that shit.
All right, and then just close it.
Did you say no? Don't close it because it's gonna update.
I did.
It's not saved.
I hit
That
Control
image is.
S.
You just click the save icon. Just click the icon. You didn't save it. Look at that. Incredible. We're done. Do not close paint.net. Go back to Unity. Back. Go look at, just check the sheet, shirt movement.
Like all these other ones.
Head. Shirt movement. Ta-da. Open the thing again. Like, uncollapse this. Click on those individual. I want to just, okay, that's fine. That's exactly what I want. I'm just not sure where is she spawning? Where is Marta when you first interact with her? What level is that? Because we need to get in there and get rid of the body.
It's in the RNG level is.
Then open that level. Let's go.
But don't I want to fix all the other ones first?
I want to see if this works
Okay.
this way completely. That's all I'm testing. Dustin, it's called modular testing. Okay. Click Marta. I think if you just disable this, open her script first, though.
Mm-hmm.
the Marta script because we're gonna have to make sure we turn off the calls to the body animator. Gonna get mad. A big player control. Love that that's frozen. Like, I wish it did. Okay, we're looking for body. I think it's named that. I honestly don't remember. Look at that. Just comment that out.
Just trying to see all the places.
Not rigid body. Anything that says body anim is going to be commented out for right. You said remove body. If it works in this scene exactly the way I think it will.
Why don't you get mad at me for
it's
all
gonna
those
get
being
real
missing,
mad.
and then I'll just fix them all.
More lines that you have to.
In case we have to undo this. Get my notes in order.
But you were gonna click on the next one. Right there. I know you're lazy, but come on. Technically speaking, I think some of these are maybe slight over.
Okay.
Because I don't think some Y in. But if this works, I am a 0 of 3 warning.
Okay. Glad that it's not for us.
Okay. No, shouldn't be. We have to go save this
level right now. Remind me to come back and apply that if it works. To her prefab.
Yeah. Let's see if I'm a genius. Watch it just no. You're on it. Here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the body's still there.
Oh, it didn't quite take. Maybe it that's weird, but okay. I mean, we can just actually go delete it, and like you said, this data. That's surprising though. I would have expected that to work.
Right.
Delete it. It's gonna get super. I'll just turn these off separately too. Surprised that didn't. We'll load it up again this time and look at it when it's running if it does the same thing. I would have totally expected that to work.
Because the top one was definitely animating.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom is not animating at all.
Weird.
Dude, pause. Right. Yo, I want to see the. There. Click on the body. It's on. What if you untag it now? It's turning itself back on. I think you need to remove it.
Because I don't want to do that right this second because I'm afraid to screw it up. But let's just go back into. Game object or an animator.
Well, that's yes, body anim is not actually referencing the object. It's just sending data to its anim. Essentially, turning it on, turning it off. Body. It knows or not? I don't. Probably not. For the most part, I was correct that just changing that, if we literally just remove the body, I think that will solve all of our problems. Decent.
Nope. Maybe. Why?
That's not there.
Oh, did it? Okay, it's just. All right. It looks fine because it's. All right. There you go. Good enough. And I will probably physically remove it, but I'm afraid to do it in the. If I do it in this scene, it's just gonna get mad and break the prefab. So I think you need to do it in the inspector. Oops. I mean, I can try it because then we can just not. Well, I don't know.
I mean, if you
We
want
can
to,
not save it
if
in the
you'd
scene.
rather do it later, that's.
I mean, let's do it now, just while we're messing with this. Test until we make sure we do it the right way, because I've just had bad luck doing this kind of shit sometimes. If I don't save the scene, it'll be fun. As if I click select prefab here, I want to do like the same. I want it to show me where the prefab lives in the project. Prefab. In the player one, yeah. Let's even just do. Probably would have worked on this one too. I don't know. I'm just paranoid about. I don't know why I've had some of that stuff work right sometimes. Save this.
Body and.
I'm just going to comment them right now. And then if this works one more time, I'll actually go back and delete all those. And then we'll call it probably. Bad. Oh, it just didn't like take. My build didn't take. Again. Okay. Okay. So then we'll fix the script, and then we might as well do the other images too.
And I do it, pack it in, done. I'll never have another idea.
All right. And then let's go over here. We don't need this one anymore, right?
Nope.
We do need this because we're going to paste
Yep.
it onto all the other ones. Okay.
All the shirts. Every one of them. Anything
Shirt
that's a sheet.
_
Literally. Oh my. So easy to tell. Now you've made it so much harder.
Why? Isn't
You're a
this all the
literal
ones we need?
monster. You're a literal monster. Are you aware of how terrible your file navigation is? Like, look at this shit. It's all right there.
But now it's all right here and there's nothing else.
Except you have all the metadata.
But I know that they're not those.
Do you?
Yeah.
Are you sure? You didn't know a second ago when they were all laid out in a grid. God forbid.
All right, we did shirt movement.
We did.
We haven't done this one.
Nope.
Okay.
You wanted to click it so many times. I told you no each time.
So this one?
No, we've done literally one. Any one you pick is going to be a new one.
All of them? All right. Okay. So.
It's already selected.
Control C. Over here.
Layer.
New layer.
Down. B. Control Shift F.
Close this.
Correct. You'll have it pasted.
Control V. Nope, not yet. That. Control Shift F. I'm an art.
You know how to make layers faster?
No.
I always get them mixed. It's either Control N or Control Shift N. I don't remember if that's a new image or a new layer.
Mm-hmm. I didn't actually know that Control Shift F flattened them.
Yes.
Is that all your layers or just like the current
all
layer with
Control
like
Shift F is a complete flatten.
Okay.
Control F will redo effects.
Okay.
The last one you.
And what did you say was this to make new layers?
I think it's Control Shift N. Yep.
How do you move it down?
I don't know if there's a key for that.
Control down?
Nope.
Control Shift down?
No, you're shifting around the background.
All right.
Control Z. Are you have it?
All right. Control Shift N.
Control click.
I wonder. Let's try that on the
Click
next one, just out of
down,
curiosity.
F. F. Maybe that's Control down arrow. Is that maybe what that was?
So Control Shift N.
Control down.
Wasn't not the down arrow on the
No.
keyboard.
Then what was that?
Get again.
Yeah, you have to make. Control plus.
Does Control plus?
Try Control plus.
Nope.
No.
That just whatever that did.
Zoomed.
I think it just.
Oh, that was his. Yeah, that was his.
Is it literally?
No, because you're selecting that.
Well, I don't know. That's so weird.
You
All right.
just stop.
Control Z all the way.
Nothing else.
Roll shift N. Do it the old-fashioned way.
Drag the layer.
Paste. Flatten. One more. All right.
Gucci.
You anymore?
Now it's gonna update.
Sure. Shut up.
No.
Okay. I'll do that thing. Then we'll just run it one more time, but
You don't have costumes unlocked.
I mean, that's fine. I'll test that later on.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that it doesn't actually works correctly with the one costume or whatever.
Oh,
Well, should. Okay.
Hooray!
All right. Cool. All right. Well, thank you, Lorraine. We did it.
I had an idea.
You did. You had a great idea, and we implemented it in one sitting in like 25 minutes, and it was great.
Mediocre.
And we fixed a problem. Smallish issue, but still an important one.
I still don't know. So the weirdest thing is that didn't show up until some of the other costumes got implemented. There was never a problem with the original one. Never. Even after I changed it the way I did. And then the first two, the Count and the Space Quail one, were fine. Never a problem. As some of the other ones got in there, they all started desyncing, and like I was copying the code. Like it was literally the exact same thing over and over and over again. And I don't know what happened. And then once you change some of this stuff, everything started desyncing occasionally. So I don't know. Let's start
whatever.
it.
All right. Well, in any case, thank you, Lorraine, for joining me.
Bang.
Thank you for messing with stuff.
I did so many things.
I mean, like I said, we bounced ideas off each other. You help me fix this thing right now and get more art stuff, and you'll have to give me more thoughts on some of those other
I
things
have no
pitched
thoughts.
or whatever.
I had my one thought for the year. That's
and
it.
yeah, I
I'm
think
done.
we'll call
No
it
more
for the
thoughts.
evening. So, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching us mess with video games. I'm going to keep messing with the video game stuff. And until next time, I guess we'll see you later. There it is. There's my hand. More cat. She's gone now.
Somewhere.
She's somewhere. Good night, Internet.